Hey guys, this is Kevin from WP Codis. Today we're going to look at one of our latest plugins called Ultimate Client Dash. Ultimate Client Dash is really for agencies and freelancers who are building a site for a client and want to make it client ready in a very timely and effective manner. It also allows you to rebrand WordPress to either your company's branding or maybe your client's branding, and also it gives you the option to white label WordPress, so that way it just kind of makes it a little more personal when clients log in. To get started, we're going to go ahead and we need to activate our license key here. We're going to go ahead and just copy and paste our license and hit active license. Once you see the active message saying thank you, you'll go ahead and see the nav menus pop up. We're going to go ahead and get started with the dashboard styling. This allows you to rebrand the WordPress dashboard, like I said, to either your company's branding, your client's branding, or pretty much whatever you really want. We also have a feature that allows you to enable a dashboard modern theme, which I'm going to go ahead and check, and then once we save our changes, you'll go ahead and see it go into effect. So for this demo purpose, we're going to go ahead and rebrand to the Ultimate Client Dash branding. I'm going to quickly put some presets in here and kind of change something. So the accent color is obviously the blue here. The background menu is going to be this gray, and then also the highlight color is obviously when you hover over a menu item, that's what gets changed. So like I said, we also have the option to hide WordPress by default, the WordPress branding. So we're going to go ahead and enable that. That'll remove the logo here and also in the footer reference. We also have an option where you can customize the howdy text. By default, it says hello. For this purpose, let's do something funny like sup or something. We also have an option to change the dashboard link color. So what that is if you go to any page and you see an href or a link, it's default WordPress color. So we're going to go ahead and just change that to, actually we'll do the lighter blue of ours, and hit save changes. So now you can see when we hit save changes, our modern dashboard theme has been activated and all of our branding is referenced towards Ultimate Client Dash. And as I mentioned, the default link is changed as well. The modern theme also affects internal pages too, so like the edit pages, you can see the button's been expanded and kind of separated. The image is over here now, and the admin bar is expanded as well. So that is the dashboard styling options. Next, we're going to get into the login styling. And what this does is by default, WordPress has a traditional login page with a WordPress logo in a white background. We're going to go ahead and change this to a custom branded background. This can be very personal when a client logs into a site. Like I said, they can either see your logo or their company logo. So we're going to go ahead and just select the Ultimate Client Dash logo and put in our logo widths. You can have any preference you want. You can either do your default logo or resize it down to whatever you need. The logo padding is what has a padding effect from the form and the logo itself here. So we're going to go ahead and do the body color text white, since we are going to have a darker background image, which I'm going to go ahead and select. We're going to hit save changes, and now obviously by default WordPress you'd have to log out to see your login page. That's no fun, so we added this cool little convenient thing where you can hit preview login page, and now you can see that the login page is custom branded towards our branding in a matter of a few minutes here, which is really cool. Next, we're going to get into the excuse me, the client access page, and what this allows you to do is it allows you to assign a custom user role, which is created when you activate our plugin called client. And if you assign your client to this user role, you can give them access to certain features of WordPress and also take away some certain features as well too, kind of depending on your client. So let's say you have a client that isn't very tech savvy, it might be best to hide certain features so that things don't get broken, or maybe a certain client wants access to manage plugins but nothing else. This also allows you to have a very organized and clean dashboard, so there aren't things that aren't relevant toward them, which is key as well. And another thing that we have is hide client menu items. So these are items that are separate from access. So obviously they'll all have access to profile or tools or posts, but if you don't want those to display, really clean up the nav menu, you can go ahead and get rid of that. And so we're going to go ahead and hit get rid of comments, and we're going to give them the appearance and settings capabilities and hit save changes. So this will not affect the admin user. Like as I mentioned, this will only affect the user role clients. So when they go now and log in, so their menus will now display appearance and settings and give them access to all of those features within there. Uh, Next, we're going to get into the widget options. So by default, WordPress has a very cluttered almost dashboard menu that is pretty much useless for your clients. And especially for how many plugins you activate, some create their own widgets. It can be very confusing and also just overwhelming for a client when they first log in. So the widget options allows you to get rid of certain widgets that you don't want them to see and really just clean up the dashboard. So for this demo, we're going to go ahead and leave the activity thing unchecked. And you can also choose what row format you want your widgets to display in. So by default, it's 4. We're going to go ahead and select 2 rows for this. Ultimate Client Dash also gives you the ability to create a custom widget. By default, it'll have this neat help. You can really create anything that you want with it. We just like to have maybe a client that has access to a site, and you want them to have like, hey, if you have any support or technical questions, go ahead and reach out to this email. So we're just going to go ahead and put, if you need help, contact us at contact@wpcodus.com. And obviously you can add an href on here so that when they click on it, it gets sent to either your mail, or if you want a contact page, you can do that. We're going to go ahead and hit save changes, and now refresh the admin menu, or the dashboard I should say, and you can see all the clutteredness is gone. You only see one widget and also our custom widget here, and it also is displaying the widgets in 2 rows, which really kind of gives the Ultimate Client Dash that unique feel from the traditional WordPress look. Next, we're going to get into the message options. And what this does is similar to the create a custom widget. It just allows you to create a custom message for your client when they first log in, almost as an alert or a welcome message. You can really use this for pretty much anything. What we found is useful is, for example, when you get a website built for a client, rather than bugging them about, hey, we leave us a testimonial and tell us about your feeling, it's a great way to just have that message on here. So every time they log into the site, they'll have that saying, hey, can you leave us a testimonial? So you're not really bugging your client, but it's also a great way to get their feedback. It also allows you to add things like videos, maps, iframes, images, and things like that. So for this demo, we're going to have just welcome to your new website. We're going to say thank you, if I can spell today, with WP Codus. Click here, and we're just going to go ahead and make this here a button, or a link I should say, and we're going to just link it to our website. And actually we'll go to the testimonial page. We can also have an option to open it up in a new tab, which is always useful. I'm going to go ahead and hit save changes, and now if you go to the dashboard, you can see we have this nice welcome message here. We can also, like I said, you can add, anything you want to it, an image. We only have one image here, so we're going to go ahead and hit that. And let's say we want that image to be full width instead of just a set dimension, which we have that. Explains everything. There's a little tip here, but go ahead and make the width of 100%, and we'll just make the height set to auto and hit save changes. So now if we go log in, you'll see that there's a nice image on here. You can really put this in maybe promotional material, a screenshot of their image, really whatever you want. So that is the message options. Next, we're going to move into the tracking options. So we added this as a quick way to add Google Analytics, a Facebook Pixel, a Google Pixel, pretty much whatever you want to the header of your site without having to go into your theme options or even customizing your theme's header.php. The downsides of customizing the header.php is anytime you update your theme, you're going to lose that whatever analytics or snippet of code you put in there. So this is a great way to add analytics or Facebook Pixel without losing that every time you update the site. Very convenient. It's built in, like I said. Ultimate Client Dash is really for agencies and freelancers to make it super convenient for them to get their client's website ready to go for launch. That being said, another thing that agencies or freelancers typically want to create for a client is a coming soon page. And it can be very time consuming to do that. So we wanted to have a feature where you can quickly create a coming soon page or under construction or pretty much whatever you want. If you want a notice to have when a visitor goes to the site and it's not ready, and it won't affect the login user, this is a great tool to use. So we're going to go ahead and enable the under construction, and we're just going to select the Ultimate Client Dash logo. The logo padding affects the padding between the title and the logo, same with the title and the message. We're just going to go ahead and leave those be by default. We're going to paste in some code here that we have already designed. It's coming very soon. It also has an option to add a button to link pretty much wherever you want. If you don't want a button to be displayed, just go ahead and leave this field empty, which we're going to do for this purpose. We can also choose from some select font families to really match your branding. We're going to go ahead and just do text color white. Again, we have a dark background, so we want that to be a lighter text. We're going to put in the Ultimate Client Dash green color there. And then if you want to have just a background image color rather than image, you can add that, or you can really do both. The overlay color, so maybe you have an image that isn't very dark and you want to have some text obviously overlaid it, you can choose a overlay and then also affect or change the opacity of that from 0 to 1. You can also do 0.5 or pretty much whatever you want. We're going to go ahead and just leave this empty for the default purpose tutorial. And also you can add some social media links so that way users, when it's not just a dead end, they can see what you're up to, get notifications or really whatever. So we're going to go ahead and paste in the WP Codist Facebook page and hit save changes. So just like the login page, we have a preview under construction page. And actually my image isn't loading. I don't. There we go. That was weird. Okay. So yeah, now you can see we have we are coming soon page here with our text and a link to Facebook. We can also, like I said, add a button. Just hit contact us. Or if you want to add even more Instagrams, this is my Instagram. If you guys want to go ahead and follow me, go ahead and do so. Hit save changes, and now you can see that we have a nice button and a contact us links. So that's it, guys. That is Ultimate Client Dash. If you have any questions for us, go ahead and reach out to us via our contact or support or email, kevin@wpcodist.com. We hope you enjoy.